Oh boy, guess what time it is? It's time to do something completely original in the Fire Emblem community, which is reacting to another trailer. Well, we went from Let's Plays to Fire Emblem Heroes to now we're doing, what, reviews and trailer reactions? Well, might as well do this so I don't get left behind in the dust. So this is the trailer for Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I saw back in during E3.
Long ago, the divine Seros received a revelation from the goddess, a gift to help guide the lost.
Okay, so starting off with world building, which is good. So this time we have another goddess, just like in Gaiden or Shadows of Valentia and Radiant Dawn. Based on those two games, we're probably gonna see this goddess again later on. And for the map, we can already see that the world is divided into 3 different factions, and I'm guessing that these are the different the different countries, I guess. And then these are the different cities or towns that we can explore, just like in Gaiden and Awakening and Birthright, and Sacred Stones as well. So we're gonna be doing a lot of exploring, open world. Hopefully, I mean this is a Switch after all, so we might get like a Breath of the Wild vibe here. Looking good so far. My only concern is it's not open world and it's gonna be more linear, like Conquest and other Fire Emblem games that's not Sacred Stones, and Awakening and Birthright.
Now, the goddess watches over Fodlan.
Alright, so we're having a fight here. So 2 armies. One looks like they're Berserkers, Barbarian class, and the other is Knight class.
From her kingdom above.
Oh boy, dragons.
As the mother of all life. The arbiter.
So we have one of the barbarians attacking, and then love the whole thump thump of the heartbeat. Let's review what
Goddess watches over Fodlan.
Okay, so the name is
Fodlan.
Fodlan.
From her kingdom above, as the mother of all life, the arbiter of every soul.
Okay, so just like in Shadows of Valentia and Path of Radiance, or the Telia series, there's gonna be a goddess in there. Other Fire Emblem games don't have it. It's more like here's story plot, and then here's the main antagonist we need to defeat. That's it. I hope they take a different direction from this so far. In Shadows of Valentia, we saw Mila and Duma, 2 gods fighting each other, and then in Radiant Dawn, we saw Ashura fight, who's revealed to be the goddess, and we had to fight her. I guess spoilers. So Fire Emblem Three Houses, and we get to see gameplay. So I see like a mage, a knight, a swordmaster, or a myrmidon. I think this could be a cleric over here, and we're fighting an archer and 2 clerics. I love the design of the terrain, the green, like the trees, everything. Hopefully this is gonna be like Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance, where we can have an option to, like, excuse me, in those games we have like grids, but we can increase the density of the lines so we can how thick the lines are, so we can see the actual grids as we're playing, so we can strategically plan out like a chessboard. Well, this is chess, like chess as well. And so we saw that the terrain is highlighted up here, grasslands. And then we see down here, her name is Eldegard, level 3, steel axe, HP 29.
Go ahead, give me orders.
Okay, and then, alright, so we have attack, magic, combat arts, formation, equip, items, and weight. So, judging, I'm guessing they're bringing back mechanics from Shadows of Valentia with the combat arts, which I really love, but in Valentia, I hope they keep the same mechanics, like, but with skill inheritance, we can keep those skills instead of having to swap weapons and stuff. However, we do also have this equip option right here, so my guess, hopefully we can swap items that we have, and we can use those combat arts, because each weapon has their own unique combat art in Shadows of Valentia, so swapping out those is good. And it appears that Eldegard is a mage axe user, which is really unique, and I love the idea. I hope we get lance magic users. We already have sword magic users with Robin. Bow magic users, I guess. I mean, that might be a bit too OP. Double range weapons and close range as well. Formation, perhaps it's like in Fire Emblem we can have arrange different formations, like go around the main character, or avoid the enemy, or charge, which is attack the enemy, basically like that. So that's gonna be back. I'm not sure they're gonna change the mechanic or not, but and then we have items and weight. It's pretty standard in Fire Emblem games. And we also have these little blue, I'm guessing that's indicating the health bar, so usually, and it's around in a circle, so that's really neat. Usually it's like a straight line down the middle, down below it, so but this time they make it around the circle, so that's good, and I like that. What else? The menu select has like a quill pen now, and I'm guessing these are like tabs, bookmark tabs, whatever. I love the details in that. That's good. And I noticed that these 5 have like some sort of a star design on them, but these don't. I don't know what that's about.
It's time to measure.
Alright, so here we have the battle menu, so she can use both axes and swords, like a hero type class, and then we get to see like the chance of her hitting, the amount of how strong the attack is, the amount of crit percentage. I don't know what the RNG is. It has 0 avoid, so I guess that means it's gonna hit for sure, but it has a 71% hit, so unless if Eldegard, that's her name, is gonna get hit regardless. RSL resilience, I guess, how well they're gonna withstand the attack. And she has a new class, aristocrat. I guess this is a unique class to her, so instead of a lord class, it's aristocrat. If I remember my politics correctly, aristocrat is like a type of ruling class. So there's that.
Your worth as an instructor.
shoot, went too far back. So Eldegar versus Mercedes. So yeah, they kept this pretty simple, just like it should be. So you can, oh, and they have a skill as well. So this is Vantage. So I think Eldegar has the Vantage skill, and you can swap weapons with X or Y, and it shows the chances of the health decreasing, as well as the hit percentage and how many times you can attack. So that's very useful. I'm glad they kept that in. So they zoom into the battle, the fight, and you see they're fighting with alongside an army. And yeah, it's like usually in Fire Emblem it's more scaled down as 1v1s, but now here you actually see that you're in a real fight.
Go ahead, give me orders.
So I'm guessing this is, and I like the extra detail that they put into that. It makes you feel that you're really inside a war fighting, like a real battle. Like usually in Fire Emblem games, it's more, it feels like there are wars going on in Fire Emblem games, but it feels more like, oh, this is a strategic maneuver that we gotta do, so let's attack this fort, let's go to this place and attack this base. And you're leading a small faction and you're doing all of that, but meanwhile the more bigger armies, they're the ones that are fighting up in the front lines. You're just doing small things to sabotage them. So I guess this time we actually get to fight in the front lines, and I'm really glad we get to see this extra details, like we're in the middle of combat. Amazing. And obviously she chooses a sword against axe against a sword user. Obviously she's gonna have be at a disadvantage against Mercedes, Eldegar. And then we go on to Dimitri. This guy named Dimitri, he's fighting a kingdom soldier, so he's using a lance. Not much. And then here is Claude, who uses a bow, and apparently like
It's time to measure.
here Dimitri is attacking one soldier, but Claude is attacking all these soldiers. I'm not sure if it's a specific skill, but from the looks of it, it seems that each of them are fighting one character, the silver character. Meanwhile, it appears that they're taking damage along with them. So I'm guessing each of these soldiers are leading a certain faction as well as you. So when you deal damage to them, you deal damage to the leader of the army, you deal damage to the rest of the soldiers in that group.
Such a brutal, irrational world we live in. Some believe the crest.
Okay, it looks like we have these are they look like well-equipped, well-trained knights, and then they're fighting a group of barbarians. So I guess these knights have been called to battle to fend off these barbarians. But we also see that they're wearing the color red, and these guys are wearing the color blue. So my guess is they're the enemy units, and these are the allied units. You don't see that every day in Fire Emblem. Usually you're the knights fighting the barbarians, but now you're the barbarians fighting the knights. That's a nice twist to the story. I like it.
Tokens of the goddess's.
Alright, so we see more combat, and from the looks of it, we see Eldegar. This appears to be a mage. This looks like a soldier, and two other units I don't know about.
Tokens of the goddess's power.
Okay, so the crests are the tokens of the goddess's powers. If you guys haven't seen the anime, Records of the Grand Crest War. It just ended last season and it feels just like that. And there are a bunch of animes out there that follow this type of storyline where you have a main protagonist with the crest and they're the leaders. You might get like a Lord of the Rings vibe where like the crest guides them or something like that instead of the rings. Who knows? And from this point of view, we get to see each lead, like as I said before, you're commanding each different unit, and they command their own group of soldiers. Here we see a simplified map. I like that. It helps you see everything a lot easier.
Are necessary to maintain order. Such a brutal, irrational world we live in. Some believe the crests, tokens of the goddess's power, are necessary to maintain order. But they're wrong.
Okay, so the person who's talking is saying that the crests have been given by the gods in order to do it.
Goddess's power are necessary to maintain order.
In order to maintain order, but she thinks it's wrong. So usually in Fire Emblem games, it's like something tragic happens to the main protagonist, like their country's being invaded, they're being attacked by barbarians and stuff like that. But this time, in like Shadows of Valentia, right off the bat, Celica and Alm, they're like, oh, we're gonna fight for... Alm is like, I'm gonna go fight for deliverance, and Celica's like, I need to go find the temple of the goddess Mila. So it looks like in this scenario, in this storyline, it appears that the army protagonists are the ones that are gonna start the story off, not the story sets the narrative for our characters, which I don't mind really. What it boils down to is how well they execute it, which is my main concern.
To maintain order.
And then we get to see this character, Baelith, who is a sword user, blue-haired sword user, and he's going to fight Hilda.
The crests are to blame.
So she thinks that that the crests are like corrupting or causing problems. They're not guiding them. I'm trying to think. Like there are a bunch of stories with crests involving them, and it's usually in the end it comes down to we have to work together. But then, like, I forgot that one anime where they fought to get the crest selected the person and they had to fight together. And then Records of the Grand Crest War, which I remember very well because it just came out this year, it's like each faction is led by a person with their own crest and they had to fight each other. So I guess it's following the same storyline as Records of the Grand Crest War, where each faction has their own crest, and in order to, and they had to fight each other. I love to see you. And here's your right. So you see that he has like a knife, and he's walking like inside a church hall, just like or a temple, just like we saw in Shadows of Valentia, those Mila temples. And I love the music in the background as well. Oh yeah, we can see the stained glass. So what ruined previous Fire Emblem music for me was people were able to, my friend who hates Corrin with a passion, is Smash Bros memed the mess out of You Are the Ocean's Great Waves. Hopefully this song does not get memed to the point where it gets annoying. So you get like different perspectives of our main protagonist running around. I hope we get dungeon exploration just like in Shadows of Valentia did. So we have our main character talking to Eldegard in what appears to be like a school lecture hall. It must be time for my training. Shall we begin? So she talks about a teacher, so I'm guessing you, the main protagonist, are her teacher. I like that. It adds a different point of view that we haven't seen before, because it's usually when you're the main character, it's like with Crom and Morris, is like you're their tactician, you help them out. Same with Lynn, Elliewood, and Hector, you're their tactician. But it appears here you are like their leader. You could say Corin, who got his family, her family members killed and friends. I guess he's their leaders as well. So Eldegard is getting some training from your character. I like that. I must hone my skills for the mock battle. What shall I focus on today? And as previous mentioned, she uses both swords and axes like a hero class. And so I'm guessing this could be like your barracks where you can train individual characters. My axe skill, as you wish. There's always room for improvement. So I'm guessing this is the part where you can level up your weapon proficiency, where the higher level your weapon proficiency is, the better or stronger weapons you can use. And so we see this lady who we saw earlier right here, I believe. Yeah, she has the flowers, green hair, and then like we can't see it clearly, but it has the crown on her. So and this looks like a sword, like a falchion actually. Like we can see the emblem right here, and then holy smokes, this is a falchion. Like the design is 100. Like this is an old falchion. Wow. Oh man, this is bringing up a lot of concerns for me right now, because it feels like this is gonna be a tie-in to Marth, Crom, Lucina, Awakening, and Shadow Dragon, Fire Emblem. I hope they execute this well if it's gonna be a tie-in to Marth, Lucina, and Crom. I really do. So this is like the formation. Wow. And I'm guessing this is the main villain. I mean, it's typical Fire Emblem, where it's like the old dude in armor, old king in armor is the main villain. We saw that with King Ashnar. Who else? King Ashnar. King Garen in King Ashnar in Talia in Path of Radiance, King Garen in Fates, Hardin in Heroes of Light and Shadow. So yeah, and Rudolph in Shadows of Valentia and Gaiden.
Dare to walk this.
So yeah, we see that he's having a whip, so this could be a new class. But we see the hilt of a sword here, so it could be a unique type of sword. And he is just destroying these guys. But these guys are red units, so I'm guessing he's an ally.
And we fall to our.
Okay, so going back, we see like these mechas. They could be like puppets in from Fates, where you can create them to defend your castle, or it could be like some new type of enemy created by the main antagonist, just like the Risen from Awakening, and like the monsters in Sacred Stones. So we might be fighting like a new mega type enemy, and we can see in the background like an army of soldiers.
And we fall to our ruin.
So we see one of the lords, one of the characters that stands out, leading an army of archers.
So take your first step.
And you see the news cut-in for like a special skill or critical.
It's now or never.
I hope they have like Radiant Dawn animation, battle animation was probably my most favorite. I hope they keep that in there. If not, oh well. Especially with like Astra, Luna, all that. And with like, I don't know, like they did a bunch of crazy things with backflips and stuff. With Astra especially, and then there's Deadeye, where they just throw the arrow up in the air, they jump up and they shoot. Awakening phase is more like, let me just walk up to you and hit you several times, or just let me hit you really, really, really hard. I hope they do that. And here we see like a girl sleeping on a throne. I don't really have much to say about this. It could be a statue, or she could be like the new Tiki, where she's sleeping for hundreds of thousands of years, just waiting for you to wake her up. And she might give you like her version of the Falchion. And then we see this emblem in the back, like Fire Emblem, whatever.
I will return here someday, my teacher. Promise me that you won't forget me.
Huh. I don't know what this means. It seems like Eldegard is your student, and like she's being sent away, or she has to leave, or something. But then she'll come back. Kind of like Alm and Celica, where they got separated and they had to get back to each other or something like that. I don't know. So this is coming out spring 2019, so next year. I'm kind of concerned, yet I'm kind of happy. I'm happy we're gonna get this game really soon, but I'm kind of concerned as to how well the final product is gonna be. Like, are they gonna rush it? Is it gonna have some flaws in like the plot, the characters? Will it be complete upon release date? I mean, they're basically asking us for they're basically telling us, hey, we got a whole year. And then the last game, Shadows of Valentia, came out like, I don't know, last year. So basically they have like 2 years at least at the max to work on this game. I really hope it's good. I really do. I really want this game to be good. So that's my thoughts on it. I'm just joining the trend right now. Like, before Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem YouTubers were just, hey, let's do Let's Plays. Now it's Fire Emblem Heroes and trailer reactions and opinion videos. So that's what I think. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye.